Boom shakalaka, a very curious chart. We're going to take a look at why this chart suggests the bull run hasn't even happened yet, plus why the latest Bitcoin all-time high was actually in a bear market, and what needs to be happening before we see these new all-time highs. You'll definitely want to stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we're taking a look at what's going on with Bitcoin, why this chart is so gosh darn curious. We haven't even seen all-time highs yet, and specifically what needs to happen before we have new all-time highs. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Also, come join us over on Twitter at @TheCryptoLove. Now, today, the market is down about 2%. Bitcoin at 37,375, Ethereum at 2690, BNB at 371, Cardano at 105, Solana 102, XRP 60 cents, and Terra Luna $50. And the overall market fear back into extreme fear. You can see for pretty much the last month, just extreme fear. No surprise, the market's going sideways, not really going down. I mean, it came down from 70, but pretty much sideways, and people are terrified. So let's take a look at what's going on here. First, we have this market reversal indicator from Plan C. Basically, historically, when it's in red, would be pretty decent buy opportunities. When it's in green, would be pretty decent sell opportunities. Right now, in red, potentially a decent buy opportunity. As a matter of fact, though, a lot of this fear is likely coming from short-term holders who are down below their cost basis. That means that people who have purchased anytime around December 4th, they've been underwater since then. Anytime in the last 6 months they purchased, they've been underwater since about December 4th, and that can't feel good. But for those people specifically, there are some things to keep an eye on. So first off here, if we see Bitcoin transfer volume as a cyclic ratio against realized cap, we can see this transfer volume ratio here in green. And when it's above this one line right here, it's green background. When it's below, it's red background. So that would suggest that these times when it's in the green background would be bull markets. These times when it's in the red would be bear markets. And looking from the chart, you would probably agree as well. The price goes up when it's green, the price goes down when it's red. If we take a look though, shockingly, we have been in red since pretty much, I would say like March, April of last year, suggesting that the most recent all-time high was actually a bear market all-time high. Now that gives you a little bit of hope, because if Bitcoin can hit new all-time highs in a bear market, just imagine what it could potentially do in a bull market. So some things that will likely need to happen before Bitcoin has this new bull market, well, would be things like the dominance makes new all-time highs. But first, dominance rises and the impulse begins. Dominance peaks near impulse tops. Alts have large gains towards the final stages of Bitcoin impulse. But with expectations, we have Bitcoin dominance rises one last time before we have lower lows. And then we have a new all-time lows for dominance as Bitcoin price peaks, and then altcoin prices peak as well. So, as you can see here, we haven't actually hit all-time lows for Bitcoin dominance, which is another reason to suggest we haven't yet had that bull run breakout that everyone's looking for. And here, Trading Shot is kind of repeating something we saw on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, where he's saying, hey, Bitcoin is basically following the Dow Jones Industrial Average, where we have this double top type formation, bounces off the 1 week MA 100 before it takes off. You can see that the Dow Jones did that between 93 and 95, and potentially Bitcoin setting up to do relatively the same thing, especially if we see it break through this RSI trend line right here. We could expect that that could be happening. So that brings us to this chart here. Why is this so curious, and why does this not look like your Bitcoin charts? Well, you can actually see this by typing in BTC/M1. That compares Bitcoin with the total M1 money supply. And right here, back around COVID, they printed a lot of money that altered significantly Bitcoin's correlation to US dollars. Now, as you can see, Bitcoin's actually been trading sideways since October of 2017. It has not moved outside of there, especially considering all the money that they're printing. It's basically just been trading sideways. This has been one long consolidation that we haven't seen the end of. Now, previously, before that, Bitcoin was pretty well on a nice trend line that we can see here, this bottom red trend line since 2013, increasing. we're getting close to the bottom of that trend line where it would be likely that Bitcoin price would bounce off of once again. Now, what are some dates worthwhile keeping an eye out for? Well, so first off, there's from the top here, bouncing off the top in 2019. Well, that Bitcoin found some support off of, and that actually intersects the trend line right around October of 2022. So also, Bitcoin is coming down to the bottom of what would be the support area that has been in for the past few years. Again, hitting there right now. So likely between now and October of 2022, the end of this year, we would be likely to see some type of movement in terms of what's going on with Bitcoin. But even if it goes out further from there, like let's say from the top here to the top we had in November, we would clearly expect to have a breakout by February of 2024, coincidentally, right around the time of the next halving. And you're saying, well, but maybe Bitcoin just is old. Maybe people don't care about it that much more. Maybe it's just not going to have its breakout. Let's look at cryptocurrencies because they're moving. And if we take a look here at the total crypto market cap compared with M1, this as well has just been trading sideways for the past 4 years. So all of this suggesting we haven't yet seen the breakout that we're looking for. And a chart that confirms this, that maybe this isn't the third cycle, maybe this is only the second cycle, would be this chart from TechDev saying that we're really only having large macro impulses. We had one back here from 2011 to 2015 and then a macro correction. Well, we had another one starting in 2016 that should be ending towards the end of 2022, 2023, and that could potentially put the price up to $200,000 to $400,000 per Bitcoin. So this chart right here could be suggesting that we have a lot higher to go for Bitcoin. Pair that with our most recent all-time high in a bear market, it just makes you think. So guys, that's all for today's episode. If you did enjoy it, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll catch you later. Peace.